I recently did a video called Breath, the Truth Teller. I'm laughing because some of you are probably like, what is that thing around her waist? Well, I was wearing a sweater when I started this, but it's really hot. And I have to go really far to get a t-shirt. And I don't really fancy showing my midriff on a video, so it's my midriff snake. Anyway. In that first video, we talked about how breath will never lie about what's going on in your body. And that even though you might try to change what's going inside of you by changing the breath will always come back to a reflection of what's going inside. But we can use breath to understand what is happening inside of us. So in that first video, you'd listen to your breath and you'd be like, okay, there's something going on, but I don't know what it is. Well, now we're talking about breath, the influencer. So the next time you get into a situation where you get really angry and annoyed and aggressive and you're just about to react, stop. If you're with someone, you're on a phone, whatever you're doing, say to that person, you know what? Do you mind if I just step away from this for about 10, 15 minutes, maybe longer, and let me come back to this? Because I don't want to move to anger or aggression, because that's going to hurt you, but it's really going to hurt me. Then step away. When you step away, sit down and start to breathe. Breathe from your belly button up to your throat, back down to your belly, and just breathe. Hear the sound so as you inhale, hum as you exhale. Do about 7 to 10 breaths like this. Then come to your alternate nostril breathing. So block the right nostril at the top, inhale through the left. Close the left, exhale through the right. We can do it this way as well. Inhale through the right. Close, exhale through the left. When you do this, you're only changing nostrils when it's time to breathe out. Make sure your inhale is the same count as your exhale. Do 5 rounds of this, ending on your left. Then come back to your Soham breath. Then come back to your alternate nostril breath. Do 3 rounds of this. So let's say 8 Soham breaths, 5 rounds of alternate nostril breathing, 8 Soham breaths, 5 rounds of alternate nostril breathing, and then just stop. And close your eyes, and you will have moved your body back to its parasympathetic nervous system. You will have moved your senses inwards. And then just for a moment, you will have awakened awareness in your body, and you'll be able to go, okay, where did that come from? When that person did that and it rose anger and aggression in me, was it really something that that person was doing that? Is it something that is happening in me and I'm rising to anger because something that happened back then? Is it an insecurity in me and has nothing to do with the other person? Or is it truly that they are doing something that's harmful and I need to raise awareness in them instead of shouting at them by saying, when you do that, this is how it affects me. Not attacking them, but explaining that their behavior is giving rise to this in you. You can only ever tell them what it's giving rise to in you. You can't tell them what's wrong with them, why they're doing it, because you don't know. They probably don't even know. So we can use breath to influence what's going on inside by being aware of what's going inside and then responding to it appropriately. If you want to do a little longer, the channel that this is on, the Ancient Yoga Library, please subscribe. I want good to rise to the top on social media because there's a lot of craziness on them. Go to the pranayama section and there's a thing called count breath. Learn the counting of the breath. So for example, what I mean by count breath is you'll remove yourself from that situation. You breathe in for 6, in for 4, down for 6, in for 5, down for 8. You go up to a high number, then you come all the way back down, and by the time you're done, you will be in this place of like quietness and peace where you can then see with awareness what is going on inside of you. There's also a breathing called the 5 Vayus. You can do that to move your life force, to also raise awareness. There are a lot of different breathing practices you can engage in to bring you back. But the biggest thing is before you jump into that ocean, that pool of anger, aggression, jealousy, insecurity, and all of that stuff. Step back, use your breath to influence your system, to bring you back to a point of calmness, to then allow you to be aware and then respond to whatever was happening. You will see how different your life will become. Because every time you are angry, every time you engage in a low frequency emotion and you're screaming at someone else, the actual person you are hurting the most in the entire world is you. Love yourself. Love yourself. Don't hurt you. You're beautiful, you're amazing, and you're important. Namaste.